Alright, what's up everyone? So, this is going to be the first in a series of videos that I've been interested in doing for a while, and that is world tours for the many different Kingdom Hearts worlds. And I figured that the best way to start would be with the first world, being Destiny Islands. There's not going to be a whole lot to it, literally just exploring the worlds, looking at little details, interactions within the worlds, NPCs, and so on. And I will try to be as thorough with each world as possible. But I was trying to brainstorm new ideas for content, and I was like, world tours, that could be fun. And I'm interested in finding out if there are any details that maybe I've overlooked in my multiple times and playthroughs through these games. So, and I figured for Destiny Islands, I should start here at the dock where they would arrive at the islands in their little rowboats. Now, there's only 3 boats here, but there's obviously more kids on this island than there are boats. I can only imagine that obviously some ride together in multiple boats. But presumably, one of these boats is probably Sora's, one of them is probably Riku's, and I would say one of them is probably Kairi's, but I could be wrong on that one. It could belong to Waka or Titus or even Selphie. Now, I waited until the second day on Destiny Islands to do this because during the first day you don't have access to the whole island. So I figured it'd be easier to do this during the second day. So yeah. Usually, you'll constantly find Selphie out here on the docks.
Hey Sora, have you heard about
and if you talk to her, you get this cutscene. At least, if it's the first time you talk to her.
If you share it with someone you really care for, it binds you together forever and ever, through eternity. It's so romantic. I gotta try it sometime.
Now, if you've played Final Fantasy VIII, you're probably familiar with who Selphie is, but if not, she is from Final Fantasy VIII, she's a bit of the odd one out because the other 2 Final Fantasy characters on the island are both from Final Fantasy X. So it's a bit odd, but, you know, whatever. You can't even see the main... It doesn't look like you can see the main island from here, which I think is odd. It really feels like you're just out in the middle of nowhere, like this is all there is. Which we, of course, know that there is a main island. And that the world technically isn't just this. This is just the only part of the world we have access to. Which, you know, I thought about making a video talking about the size of different Kingdom Hearts worlds and stuff, but that's for another time. Now, who made this? Who made all these buildings and stairs and ramps? Honestly, we have no idea. These were here apparently before even Xehanort himself was here. So, yeah, who knows who built, you know, when I was a kid I thought, oh, maybe Sora and Riku's parents built all this, but that's apparently, you know, clearly not the case. Now, I figure we should go ahead since we're already on this end, go up here. Now, I think it's weird because these are some massive trees. Like, look at the size of these trees. Well, I can't tell. I don't know if this is a tree or a rock. I don't know. I guess it's a tree because, you know, it's got leaves and stuff at the top. And that looks more like tree bark than the rock or stone-like textures there. Like, this island is just really giant rocks and giant trees. There's not much to it. But if we go up this ladder here... And I also am curious, what's the point of all these boards wrapped around this giant tree here? Like, honestly, that's a lot of lumber. Also, this bridge here comes down to this little area, and I always thought this little area was neat. During the first day, you'll find Titus up here practicing his swings, his little sword swings. This is also where you'll find the rope on the first day that Kairi asks you to get for the raft. And now you can't go down that way, unfortunately. You can go into the water and swim, but just not down that way. This rope here, I can only assume is maybe like a clothesline to dry clothes, maybe? I don't know because we don't see clothes or anything on it, but I can't imagine any other purpose for this rope. It's a bit odd because I can't think of what it would be used for other than maybe drying clothes. So I guess it's kind of like a clothesline, but I always like this area. Like, if I could live here, which I would totally live here on Destiny Islands, I would be up here all the time. I would just chill up here on this platform. And I don't know if this platform is entirely made of wood, or if there was something connecting here to here. Now, okay, this is a bit odd because the textures at the bottom of this look kind of like a tree, but if we swing around here, it looks a bit more like a rock texture. But then it looks more tree-like going up. It's weird. That's weird. It's weird, right? Like, those two textures don't match. And you can see where it kind of fades into one another. I like these big purple leaves that protrude out the top. And you can see at the end of the texture, it's like a giant purple leaf with like 3 smaller purple leaves branching out from it, even. It's interesting. This tree here, assuming it's a tree. I'm not sure what that is up there. Let's see if I can get a better angle. I'm not really sure what those are supposed to be. They kind of look like the little umbrellas you can get in like a drink. I'm just gonna jump down here, see if I can. Yeah, it looks like this was entirely just man-made. I don't think there was anything natural connecting these two. What I thought was a tree. See, look at this. It's like stone down here, but then it looks more wooden going up. It's weird. I got wet shoes now. But this seems a bit overkill. If this was man-made, it seems like you didn't need to actually extend it this far down. And I don't know what might be inside of, you know, is it hollow inside? Is it a bunch of wood? I mean, that'd be a lot of lumber to make it completely solid all the way through. How far can you even go over this way? Okay, so that's where the cutoff is. I still don't understand the point of wrapping this in wood, but I'm sure they have their reasons. Out here is also where you'll get the fish that Kyrie asks you to get. You can get them before even speaking to her. But you can go swimming out here in the water. There's not much to do out here in the water, but you can go swimming. It's not like Jak and Daxter, where if you go too far, a shark will eat you, you know? But it looks like we can go a pretty long ways out here. And you can actually, out here, you get a good wide view of the front of the island. So, that's... I actually didn't know you could go that far out. And there's a ladder over there that takes you up to that smaller island, but we'll go over there in a moment. Let's get back to the beach. Now, the beach here is where you will initially fight. If you choose to fight them, you will fight Selphie, you'll fight Waka, and you'll fight Titus here. And yes, I call him Titus, not Titus, because I don't like the sound of that name. You will fight them here. You can fight all 3 of them at the same time as well. And these are, of course, optional fights. Now, let's go back up the dock here, up this ramp. And now there's a little hole in the wall here, which I thought was interesting. I don't know why they put wood around it. I guess so that they could add this little door to it. Now, if you go through here, it says it takes you to the cove, which is over here on the other side of the island where this little star tree is. But we're going to explore that in a moment, so I'm going to go back through. But that's a little shortcut. You don't always have to go all the way around to the other side to get to that side of the island. Now, this here is opposite from where we were a moment ago. I'm going to go up this ramp and these stairs. Climb another ladder here. I also really like this area as a kid. In here, you'll find the cloth. It'll be on this wall on the first day that you need to get. It's interesting. It's got this like it's kind of like a little mini tree growing up the center. I feel like this would be a good little private area to like just get away, rest maybe. So it's not even like they don't even really have a roof. It's just leaves. And it's really thick leaves too, because there's not like any sun breaking through. I really like this little area. Little balcony. It's neat. This is probably the highest point that you can get to on the island. See, it's even higher than that platform over there. So you get a good view of the ocean and stuff from up here. And the seagulls and birds and everything. Is that another small tree? Those are small trees growing out the top of these larger rock tree structures or whatever they are. Huh. That's interesting. Now, obviously, these are older games, and the textures are not going to be perfect, even though these are the HD remasters. But it was something I always found charming about the foliage textures and stuff from the first Kingdom Hearts, and the way they did leaves and stuff. I don't know why. I really can't explain it. It's just something simplistic and charming about the way it looks. How it's, how it's flat and stuff. It's just, I don't know. I've seen older games that had foliage that didn't, I never thought much of it, but something about the foliage, trees, and bushes and stuff in Kingdom Hearts, I don't know. It just, maybe it's nostalgia. It makes me really happy. It's just this charm that it has. Now, we can go back down here. You can jump off the end down there if you choose, but you can come back down here. Go back down these stairs. And go around. We're going to cross past the beach over here. Down this ramp, here's Waka, another character from Final Fantasy X. He will also initiate a cutscene if you speak to him.
You know, to the secret place at the base of that tree. There's got to be something there, yeah?
And now, I've already completed the cutscene at the secret place, so I wouldn't be doing that again. If you speak to any of them a second time, they will give you the option to fight with them. You can either speak with them, they'll give you a tip, or, whatever, or at least he will, or they will offer you the chance to fight them. I don't think this barrel does... Okay, I don't think this barrel does anything in particular. Huh! Tried to hit Waka. Wonder if I can hit him. Yeet! It just goes right over him. This little pond here with these waterfalls, I thought were kind of interesting. I like how they just sort of cut through the center of this giant, massive stone, this giant rock that is in the center of the island. Now, you can come to these waterfalls after you speak to Kairi on the second day to get your drinking water for the trip. But this is not the only waterfall that you can use. You can use another one. You just can't get seawater. Now, beside this tree, which I guess it's a tree, we can go into the secret place. Now, the secret place has these roots that sort of run back here, which is kind of interesting. They run along the top of this tunnel, and then they go into the ground there. Oh, and there's more roots that come out the top. Now, in here, it seems like they come in here quite often to draw and just hang out, I guess, kids. And then there's this door with no doorknob, no lock, nothing really out of the ordinary. How did he get here? Of course, he's talking about the mysterious figure that approached him when you come in here to get the mushrooms during the second day. I always found it peculiar that they don't seem to care that there's a door on a random island in a secret tunnel. Now for these little cave drawings. Look here. That's clearly a chocobo. Final Fantasy reference. I'm not sure about this thing next to it. It kinda looks like Donald Duck, doesn't it? A little bit. That's interesting. It looks like he's got a hat. Looks like flippers. Looks like, yeah, it kind of looks like Donald. And then, of course, is the chocobo next to it. That up there, I'm not particularly sure what it's supposed to be. It's got like it looks like kind of like a wizard hat or maybe like a bard hat with a feather in it. I'm not sure. It's more like a wizard hat, I think. But it kind of looks like a little goblin of some sort. I don't know what that is. Those look like bats. Yeah, I'm not sure about this guy. He's holding a sword. Looks like maybe it could be Sora or some sort of version or fictional version of Sora that maybe he sees himself as. Looks like he's standing on a log or a tree trunk or something. That definitely looks like Sora with the way the hair looks on the head. What you can tell of the hair, walking around the Earth, I guess. You know, because he wants to explore other worlds and stuff. More bats. That looks like a house. I can't tell who's living in the house. It's definitely a house. More bats. A creepy smiley face. That has to be... It's either Riku or Kairi. I'm not sure, because of the short-ish hair. Whoever they are a king and or queen. I like the star at the top. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Oh, no, there's another face right there. I really don't know who... Okay, I feel like the long-haired one there might be Riku. Then that might be Kairi. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, a dog. That looks like Sora. Don't know who that is. But, it's interesting. Some kind of language here. I'm not sure what language this is supposed to be. It looks kind of familiar, though. But I can't place where what it reminds me of. Oh, alright, you know what? It kind of reminds me of, didn't in Final Fantasy X, I think they had, like, their own language for Spira. It kind of looks reminiscent of the, letters and stuff used on, text and things that you would find around Spira. That's what it looks like, which would make sense if, you know, considering Titus and Walker are here. Okay, this here. This is peculiar. This... First glance, I thought, it kind of looks like Castle Oblivion, but now that I'm looking at it more, it looks more like Traverse Town. So maybe Sora had a dream, because it looks like it's got chimneys and stuff. Kind of looks a bit like Traverse Town. Of course, it could be just buildings from the main island, but it does sort of look like Traverse Town. Looks like a butterfly, and I'm not sure what the hell that's supposed to be. More of that weird language. This derpy face, that's obviously Sora. Clearly. I really don't know, it's just a weird derpy face. Looks like someone put their feet on it. So, that's weird. Okay, this here is just a regular castle. Looks a little bit like Disney Castle. Little skeleton man over there. The moon, the sun, the clouds, the stars. This right here is where the mysterious figure showed up. It doesn't look like there's anything that goes back here. So he just appeared in this little crevice right here to speak to Sora. That... I don't know, that could be little girl Kairi, but it also could be little Riku. It doesn't look like Sora. So I'm uncertain with that one. I think it's Kairi. This looks like a vulture of some kind with baby birds, maybe? Kind of looks like a vulture with the way it's standing, the long neck, for certain. Let's work our way back over here. Looks like a fish, maybe a shark. Some writing. It's hard to make out what these images are. Sora. Okay, that's definitely Sora, Kairi, and Riku fighting some sort of blob monster. Sora's got a sword defending Kairi, and it looks like Riku is jumping over them and stabbing the blob monster. So it definitely, depending on who drew this, it definitely explains a bit of how, if Sora drew this, it explains a bit how Sora views himself and Riku. He views himself as sort of a protector. You know, he's going to protect Kairi at any cost, and he definitely views Riku as strong, powerful. He's the one to do the fighting. Riku's the one, you know, to count on, to do the fighting. Which makes sense. You know, Sora really looks up to Riku. So it would make sense why he, if Sora did in fact draw this, it would make sense why Sora would draw Riku in such a glorified way. I don't think Riku drew this, because Riku is normally pretty modest, and I don't think Riku views himself in that way. This right here, I have no idea what that is. This is... kind of looks like some sort of creature. They kind of look like letters. Like YXYOX? I don't know. More fish. More fish. Some hearts. And then, of course, the drawing that everybody knows of Sora giving the Paopu to Kairi. And now Kairi drew the image of Sora, I think, and Sora drew the image of Kairi. And then Sora drew the arm giving Kairi the Paopu. So one of their drawing skills is vastly superior to the other. Alright. But anyways, and as for what's behind this door, we're not supposed to know as of this game, but of course if you've completed the franchise, you know what's behind that door. I'm not going to spoil that. So if we go back down the tunnel, leave the secret place. Come back out here next to this little pond that, what's interesting about this pond is there doesn't seem to be a drain anywhere, but the waterfalls are constantly going. So technically this should fill up and overflow, because I don't see a drain anywhere. Just thought that was peculiar. Now, I often like to just sort of jump up here to shortcut my way over to this bridge, but we're going to go the way you're meant to go, and that's through this door. Which, of course, has a save point in it, and some random box, or maybe it's like a seat, a stool of some kind. I don't know. But, they have this little building. Yeah, there's really not anything in here. It's got these stairs that extend up here. Out this other door puts us back on top of this little platform here. With some trees. You can get the seagull egg that you need is up there. You can also hit them for the coconuts. Of course, you have to get a certain kind of coconut that Kairi asks you to get. But across this bridge that has one random plank protruding out the top of it for some reason, we find Titus.
I think you've gotten stronger, but odds are you're still no match for Riku. We took him on 3-1 last time. He whipped us all. Well, I guess Kairi can always count on him.
Now, he's still practicing his little sword or stick swings. He does have the same stance that he carries in Final Fantasy X, which is interesting. I thought that was a neat little detail. He's got the sort of the shorts with one leg longer than the other. Now, this is a neat little island, because it is separate. You know, it's a bridge that connects the two. It is a separate little formation, a little island, a little rock that has sand on top of it, which is interesting considering how elevated it is. This is the Paopu fruit tree. That's where they get their Paopu fruit, the star-shaped fruit that is famous in the series. And this tree itself is famous because it's where Sora, Riku, and Kairi like to sit and ponder life. from here, you got a good view of the rest of the front of the island. The little area up there, the platform way over there, the waterfalls, Wacka and Selfie over there. Here's the ladder that we saw earlier. It extends down to this little... You can actually stand on this. If you go past it, you'll start swimming, but fall off, you can climb back up here. And Sora can climb these trees. You just have to walk towards them. Now, that's as high as he can go, and then he can shimmy around, and he can jump from one tree to the next because he's a wild man. Jump on top of the trees. Trees like this that actually have a platform on top, you can walk on. Now, if we go back across the bridge, we're going to drop back down here, go under the bridge. This right here is sort of the edge. I don't think you can go around this. No. So this is the edge, just sort of telling you this is the limit right here. If we go up this ramp, I'm not sure what these are actually for. I don't know, maybe they keep some sort of items in it for storage, and I really don't know about this smaller one. It's kind of like a little mailbox, but that's obviously not what it is. Got some leaf growth coming off the side here. Grass is often, it seems grass is really only found in the corners, which I guess makes sense. The sand up here is also a different color from the main beach sand. If you notice, he actually does leave slight footprints behind that fade away very quickly, but for an older game, it's a fun detail, and he kicks up sand when he's running. Not up here, though. Only down here on the beach does he kick up sand behind him. So if we go through this door, this is where you will find Riku on day 2, just sort of, you know, out here, staring off into the distance. You still cannot see the main island. But if you talk to Riku, which I've already done this, but if you talk to Riku, he will initiate the race, the foot race between you and him. These rocks look terrible. Like, these rock textures are awful. We talked to him. This is after the race, where he said the winner of the race could share the Paopu fruit with Kairi. You get the chance. You can race him again if you choose. Obviously, we're not going to do that. I like these plants. Destiny Islands is pretty colorful. It's obviously mostly green, but you get some purples and pinks and stuff thrown in. These flowers, I guess they're flowers, are really neat. I like them. You can go down here, but there's really nothing down here. You got a starfish on the ground. Now, the race will carry you across this bridge, which they apparently never got the chance to finish for whatever reason. You got to be careful of this platform. Try to jump over it, because if you jump on it, that happens. And it will go back up. After a while, you will see it will go back up there. You won't actually see it go up there, but it will reappear. This is another waterfall. You can't go in there, but it's another waterfall you can get clean drinking water from. Here's an old ship, an old boat. I don't know how big it actually was, because either half of it or more than half is buried under the sand. So it's clearly been here a while to have so much of it buried beneath the sand. Now, we're going to go back over here so we can go across this. The race will pull you, or will bring you over here. Over to this part. Now, there's also this. Kind of like a little seesaw. I don't know what it's for, what it's used for. Maybe they put stuff on the end and then they launch it. Like, ugh. I don't really know. But if you do fall down here, you can come over to the side and come up these stairs, and you can either go off that way or climb that tower. A box over here. Do not destroy this box, because it is useful. You want to bring the box over here.
Come on.
Throw it over there. And then use it to jump up here to this little cut in the wall where you will find a treasure chest. Comes with a protect chain. After that, you don't really need the box. Another mushroom that Kairi will ask you to get. I wonder what would happen if I put the box down here. Oh, it breaks. Alright, never mind. Alright, so you can go off to the side or you can climb this tower. Now, when doing the race, here's how I suggest doing it. for me personally. When you're running across this bridge, that little area I'm not entirely sure of. I don't think it leads anywhere. That hole in the wall over there. But anyways, for the race, you want to jump over the broken platform, or the platform that's going to break. Keep going. Don't stop. Jump to the ladder. That way you'll beat Riku to the ladder by landing on it, you know, a quarter of the way up, and then he will go off to the side. My advice is not to take this. Do not take this. This right here that takes you down here. You may think it'll save you a lot of time, but it's just going to put you slightly ahead of Riku, and then you still have the rest of the path, which would be going up this and then jumping on these platforms. And it can be easy to mess this up and trip and fall, and then you touch the star for the race, and then you go back. Instead, I'm going to take you back over here. I'm going to show you how I recommend doing it. When you come off the platform, jump to the ladder, as I said. Doesn't matter if you land near the bottom or not, as long as you land on it before Riku gets to it, because he will take it. Then go immediately down. Immediately down. Get on these platforms. And then jump from tree to tree. Now, this is actually easier to mess up than those platforms, but you do this, you're almost guaranteed to hit that star before Riku does. Once you hit it, you've basically won the race. You just got to get back. I don't think you have to beat him back, because he'll even walk back in some cases. But anyways, we'll jump down here. There's the raft that you hear them speak of. Those are interesting looking trees, I guess. Talk to Kairi, and she'll tell you to pick up things for the trip. Now, if we talk to her again, she tells you not to slack off. And of course, you'll have to go back and get all the things you're missing. I guess when they don't need wood, they just sort of throw it down. One of the mushrooms is behind this boulder. You get behind it, just walk towards it, and you will push the boulder out of the way to retrieve this mushroom that's behind there. You have a bunch of these trees that you can attack for coconuts. When Kairi asks you to get coconuts.
Come on!
Now, alright, see, that's the kind of coconut you want to get. That's the only kind of coconut she'll accept. You can't even pick up the other ones. Now, I'm not sure what this is over here, or what the point of it was, or what purpose it serves. Especially this. It looks like it's like cobblestone with wood around it, and I don't get it. I genuinely don't understand it or what it was for. It just seems like an odd little platform that they added. You know, you can't use it to jump up here because Sora won't grab. Random plank of wood over here. This is a nice shaded area. If I lived here, I'd probably come over here a lot and just sit beneath the trees. And then, of course, as I showed you when telling you about the race, you can come up here and jump on these little rock platforms that for some reason have a lot of leafy growth coming off of them to touch this star tree. And I don't know how you get a tree with a star on top of it, but that's not for me to determine. But anyways, and of course, once you get all the items and stuff, you can come back to Kairi and she'll show you the charm that she's making that'll later make Oathkeeper. And if you go back through this rock over here, it brings you back out to here. And I don't think there's much else to explore on Destiny Islands. That's really about it. They didn't even finish this roof here, which I find peculiar. Like, this place has been here a while. Finish the roof. Is the roof finished on the inside? Let's look up. Nope, nope, you can see outside. Cool. That's... At least they stay consistent while doing that. And there was another thing I noticed while inside the secret place I want to look at one more time. If we go back into the secret place, forgot to mention this. Let's go back through the tunnel. If you look up, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's the sky or if there's something forming light up there, because as you can see, there is a bit of a glow on the edge of the rocks there where that blue is. So I don't know exactly what that is. It looks like some sort of dim light source. It doesn't look like the sky though, and how could it be? We're inside of a giant rock, basically. So I really don't know what that is. I don't think it's the sky. Maybe it's some sort of blue leaf or something, but it looks like there could be a light source through those holes at the in the roof. But anyways, that's Destiny Islands, the first world you have access to in Kingdom Hearts. That's pretty much it. We met all the characters and explored the whole island. There's not much to see. It's mostly leaves, rocks, trees, sand, and, you know, wood planks. A lot of wood planks. We did discover that you can go pretty far out there. And then there's that one seagull that just flies in a circle and never leaves. I guess that's that egg at the top of the tree. Probably it could be that seagull's egg, but that's a really big egg for such a small bird. I'm just saying. I'm gonna try to get out here again, get a better angle. The waves do kind of come and go back out on the beach here. Look at the top of the trees, different kinds of leaves and stuff that are at the top of the trees. And if you look up there, there's like more trees growing out of the tree, which I find odd. But it's interesting. Destiny Islands is super charming, I think. The music gradually gets on my nerves, though. The music is a little bit too... I don't know, maybe it's too upbeat. It's fine at first, but the music does get on my nerves after a while. If you spend too much time here. But that's Destiny Islands. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. And if you want more videos, make sure you hit that little bell button after you subscribe for notifications. And please, please, please hit that like button. It helps out so much. You have no idea. And please leave a comment if you enjoyed this and would like to see more, because I'm trying to get some more ideas for different content and stuff, and I'm experimenting with different things like this, like world tours, and I thought this was fun, looking for details and stuff in these worlds. And I've always liked the little details in worlds, but I've often missed a lot of them. It looks like different kind of wood. Maybe it's just the lighting. The wood is darker. But this, also, if you notice the coloration on this wood here, there's difference among the same pillars. There's a difference in color. So maybe it's like some sort of water damage. Maybe the water level has been really high before, and there's some level of water damage to the lower areas of these pillars, of these supports, rather. I never noticed that before. It's interesting. But anyways, like I said, like and subscribe. And let me know if you want to see more videos like this, because this was fun. I'd like to do some more. And thank you guys.
You stole